I'm sure people that are listening to this, and you included, have had beliefs and thoughts and opinions that are very strongly rooted, and you know it's true. You think it's true, you know it's true, you've had many experiences, other people can confirm it. And then a few years down the line, 2 years go by, and you realize, oh, that actually was totally not true. It was complete falsehood. That's how it is with most views, or with all views. The moment you hold on to it, the moment you clump something in your mind together, that's not how the universe works. The universe is boundless. It's vastness. And the more you can resemble that in your own mind, the more open you are to perception, the more you can perceive.
Falling and we need a place to hide. A safe place somewhere in the woods we can start a fire. And we all sit around the fire. We feel a little warmer now. And we all sit around the fire.
So I'm going to do this classic Vinay Metta style. Shiva Kailash Shambho, would you say you're on a spiritual path?
Yes, I would say I'm on a spiritual path. Absolutely.
There you go. Interview's done. All right. Cool. Nice. All right. Dang, I'm going through these questions quickly. All right. How many people you think... Oh, that was for somebody else. That was for somebody else. Okay. Why is spirituality important to you? Why do you think spirituality is important, Shiva?
For two reasons. Number one, spirituality removes the suffering in your life, the problems and challenges, weaknesses, obstacles, pains. And it brings joy, peace, harmony, happiness, ecstasy, and liberation.
Why do you think those are important? Like, I can imagine some people, do you think some people maybe like suffering? Or is that, maybe that's kind of odd, right? That's pretty rare that would happen. I think the vast majority of people want to be happy, want to, want all of those good things in life. Maybe that's a bad question. Okay. I'm just trying to get as much juice out of each of these questions as possible. How long have you been on the spiritual path, and how did it start, Shiva?
That's a good question. I've been on the spiritual path for approximately 12 years now, and I started because of intense suffering, which led me to seek out a solution. So thankfully I found the Buddha's teachings, which he claimed to be like a suffering doctor, which would cure your suffering. So that's how I got started on my spiritual path.
How do you think the Buddha and Sadhguru compare? Because I know that you take ideas and stuff from both of them. So how do you think they compare? Is there one that you look to more than the other? Now, you do have Sadhguru in your background, but I don't know. What do you think?
Well, there's a few ways they compare. Number one, Sadhguru is alive and the Buddha is dead. So we have access to Sadhguru and Sadhguru's energy and teachings. He's an active presence, whereas the Buddha is not. Second way is the competence level. We can measure spiritual competence in many ways, but it would be silly for me to say who's more spiritually competent because I don't know. Maybe we can guess that the Buddha was more competent than Sadhguru spiritually because of the work that he's done and some psychic powers he performed and the wisdom he displayed according to other people. And the third thing that is different is the fact that their teaching style is different. So the Buddha talked about suffering a lot, the cause of suffering, the end of suffering and the path that leads to the end of suffering. Sadhguru rarely talks about suffering. He talks about technologies to transform your mind, to make yourself happy, blissful, joyful, and transcend the human limitations. So in those ways, they are different.
So do you think suffering is important? Do you think we need some suffering, or do you think that we could go through life without suffering? That's a pretty deep question. But what are your thoughts on it?
If you were to ask me this question a year ago, maybe I would have answered you in a way that I thought for the last 10 years, which, yes, suffering is needed. It helps you to grow. It helps you to awaken. It can lead you to wisdom. But it wasn't until I heard Sadhguru explaining suffering and talking about suffering, which I realized actually there's no purpose to suffering. Suffering just is suffering and it hurts. So you shouldn't find purpose in suffering or meaning in suffering. You should just try to resolve your suffering as quickly as possible. And that's the end of it.
Nice. Well, that leads me into the next question, which was, did you ever hold any major beliefs or understandings about spirituality that you later abandoned on the spiritual path? And so you just mentioned one. Can you think of or recall any other ideas that you've like kind of changed, or maybe some new perspectives that you had that perhaps you didn't have before that, you know, maybe changed you, or maybe were just kind of interesting?
I can answer this in two ways. The one way is I can tell you the perspectives that I've had and things that have changed. Many things have changed. So many things have changed, none really that come to mind. But if I start talking about it, too many will open up. Too many possibilities will open up. But the true answer is, or the real answer is, or something that I'm actively seeking, is to not have perspectives or views. Because when you have a view and you think that something is of a certain way, you box yourself. You make an assumption. And that's not how the mind works if you're seeking perception, which means seeing deeper into life and reality. When you see something or when you learn something, it should just be an experience, an active experience. Okay, I'm experiencing this lesson or this knowledge or this energy, and nothing else, nothing more than that. No view, no belief. So the more you stay opened, the more it can come into you. So don't try to have beliefs or views or conclusions, as Sadhguru would say.
No conclusions. So that sounds really nice, but I feel like that's kind of, it's difficult to do. I remember there's some similar concept in Greek philosophy where there's one strain of thought, I think it was like Philo, probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but where it's kind of that same opinion where every situation that you go into in life, you just reserve, you keep your judgment away. Every action that, every situation you find yourself in, every thought you think, you kind of just reserve your judgment. So is that kind of how that would be? You just kind of reserve your judgment? Like, how does that, like, is it as you describe it, is it as simple as you describe it practically, that you just kind of reserve your judgments? Is that?
Yeah, so I think you're asking about how to do this, or how I go about doing this. How can someone go about doing this? Is that correct, or are you asking something else?
Yeah.
So the way that I would answer is that you don't know. We both don't know. None of us know what the reality is. So leading to the previous question you asked, I'm sure people that are listening to this, and you included, have had beliefs and thoughts and opinions that are very strongly rooted, and you know it's true. You think it's true, you know it's true, you've had many experiences, other people can confirm it, And then a few years down the line, 2 years go by, and you realize, oh, that actually was totally not true. It was complete falsehood. That's how it is with most views, or with all views. The moment you hold on to it, the moment you clump something in your mind together, that's not how the universe works. The universe is boundless. It's vastness. And the more you can resemble that in your own mind, the more open you are to perception, the more you can perceive. So how you do this is you simply say, I don't know. When something appears, when evidence comes to support a claim or initial belief that you have, that's fine for practical purposes. I believe that if I drop something, it'll fall down. But in a deeper sense, in an ultimate sense, I don't know. I don't know about anything. I don't know if this will fall down. I don't even know what this is. This is how you open your perception. This is how you deepen your perception. And of course, this comes as a result of Sadhguru. This is Sadhguru's teaching.
Do you think everybody can be spiritual? Or do you think everybody is spiritual?
I think ultimately everyone can be spiritual. Are they spiritual right now? I wouldn't say they're actively choosing to be spiritual. They're choosing to stay asleep. Choosing is also not the right word. They're unconscious. They're not aware even. So, but everyone has an inherent capability or essence of spirituality or spiritualness. If you come as a human being, you have this essence. You have the ability to be self-aware. And I think all animals actually have this ability too, meaning they have a...
So
well, let me not talk about animals because...
Some degree of awareness?
Some degree of awareness, yes, but I don't want to talk about animals. I don't know. I'm not an animal. But I think that overall people are seeking the ultimate. They're seeking boundlessness. And their way of getting there is sometimes confused. They're going and drinking alcohol and doing all sorts of confused things. So everyone is innately can be spiritual and are spiritual, but not actively.
Is Dr. Rob spiritual? I'm just kidding. Maybe you can answer that, or maybe don't answer that. I don't know. Your choice.
Yeah. If you want me to answer that, I'll answer that.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. Yeah, you can answer that. Sure. Why not? Okay, we'll move on.
He's a spirit. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. If someone is just starting off on the spiritual path, what would you recommend to them?
I would recommend to them that their diet change. What you're putting into your body makes up what your body is. And you can very easily change the material of the body, which has an impact on your mind, by making some simple changes. The most serious change you can make is stop eating animals. If you make this one change, it'll be a little bit harder for you to acclimatize to it, and some changes that you made, your body will feel different, your energy, your mind will all be different. But it's a kind of a shortcut or a fast track to becoming more loose in your body, loose in your energy, and perceiving deeper things.
I know that you talk about the throat chakra and about Kailash a lot. So what is the significance of that for you? And you also have it in your name. So
the significance of this to someone that's living in the United States, I'm sure most people are that are watching this in the United States, is a place called Mato Tipila, which is in Wyoming, and sometimes is referred to as the Devil's Tower. It's a mountain that reverberates with the throat chakra. You can Google pictures of this. It's a must see. At least just glimpse it and know what it is about.
I think I actually drove past that, by the way, in on one of my trips. So.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
This was before you knew about it?
I think I was maybe somewhat familiar with it by then, but yeah.
So in my sense or experience, this is the source of power in the United States. This is why people act the way they do in the United States and have this kind of air about them. And maybe this is a result of why the United States is so successful, because it's power center. And people unconsciously tune into it and connect to it and use it. It's the blanket that covers the United States, and Canada to some extent as well. So this is to do with power. The throat chakra is power. It's an energy source. This Mata Tapila is an energy source. You can go and actively use it and consume it. So throat chakra is something to be experienced, and Mata Tapila is a place that you can start to experience that. So go and look at a picture of it.
So what about Kailash? It's in your name. So what's the significance of Kailash?
So Kailash is in my name because I understood the power of it and the significance of it. So I wanted to imbibe this essence and make it a part of who I am, and make it who I am. And Kailash is also the source of all mystical knowledge. It was consecrated by Shiva, the first yogi, and it's a powerhouse of energy. There's no other place on earth that I've ever seen or come in contact with that is as magnificent, as massive as this in an energy way. And it has the power to change your life permanently forever if you just go there once. Let alone going there once, just looking at an image of it and connecting yourself energetically to this. You will feel its presence. If you're sensitive, if you're attuned, if you meditate, if you don't eat animals, you can feel the power of this, and nobody has to tell you about what it is or what it's not. You just feeling its energy, you'll understand very, very quickly what this is. It's a powerhouse of spiritual knowledge, insight, and mysticism.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it definitely does seem like it would absolutely make sense that just as we have different portions of our body, different energies, different, whatever, that it totally makes sense that the earth also as well would have different energies, different places, different centers, which you can kind of go and experience those different energies. So next question: what do you think is wrong with the world? That's a pretty big question. Also, what do you think what do you think is wrong with the world today? What do you think could change? How could the world be a better place? Maybe also, kind of that sort of all those sorts of questions. What kind of comes to mind in as regards that?
Nothing, well, that question presupposes that human beings are in the center of the world because we assume that we are the world, our inner experience is the world, and there's lots of things wrong with us, human beings. So we kind of assume that the world is wronged. The world is perfectly fine. Human beings are what's wrong with on the planet. We're causing a lot of damage to ourselves and animals, life in general, plants. So what's wrong with the world? It's human beings. But if the planet is just fine, nothing really is wrong. Even if we nuked each other, the planet will still go on, and I'm sure it'll rebuild, and life will again flourish. But human beings are what's wrong. Human beings are in a lot of pain. And how to make the world a better place? Well, to destroy the ignorance and illusion of human beings, to resolve the inner conflict inside of ourselves. That is what makes the world a better place.
Nice, nice, nice. I know that you're going to the Isha Center somewhat soon. Maybe you can talk a little bit about that, about the center, anything related to that.
So I have been banned from the Isha Yoga Center. I can't go there. I can't stay there either. I tried booking a place or
Oh, so you're still banned.
short-term.
So you tried
It
and
appears I'm not sure. I tried booking a place to go for the maximum you can stay is 2 weeks in the hotel that they offer in Isha Yoga Center, but they didn't allow me, and I guess it's because of my experience initially, the accident that I made, but also because I don't have any volunteering experiences. That's what they said in the email, that I need to volunteer more, and kind of that's what the ashram is. It's not a place to stay and relax. It's more of a kind of place to learn and grow and spiritually evolve and do yoga. So I'm not sure if I'm not allowed in the temple itself, if I can't go to the temples that Sadhguru has created. Anybody can go on a day visit. So I'll have to ask and inquire about that. If I'm not allowed to go there either, then that's a serious problem. But other than that, the Isha Yoga Center is a fantastic place. It's one of the best places for human growth and well-being. It's been created by Sadhguru, and the energy and the prana of it that is there is like unlike anything else that you also have seen. It's a must visit. It's like a palace or kingdom or kingdom of prana, of energy. When you go in, it's almost a physical sensation. It's like it hits you. The energy is so powerful, the spiritual energy is so strong that it physically hits your body. And then you just relax, rest. It's so conducive for your inner transformation.
Awesome, awesome. And I noticed you have that, I don't know if it's called Devi or something like that, which I think also serves a kind of also energetic purpose. Maybe you want to talk about what that is.
Yes, so this is called the Linga Bhairavi Gudi, and it is a consecrated place, a consecrated structure. It's a mini temple. And the word consecration means to turn something, an ordinary object, into a divine possibility.
It's the thing in your background, right? It's the, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
This thing. So to make something into a divine possibility or something that has spiritual possibilities. So a church is a consecrated place. You can go to a church, you can feel the spiritual benefits there. And the yogis can turn objects like rocks into powerful reverberations of energy, which if you sit next to, it'll easily and effortlessly put you into a meditative experience.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what do you think meditation is?
Meditation is turning inwards and looking inside.
Short and sweet. Cool. I'm kind of running out of questions. Maybe there's something else you want to say, or some final comments, or something like that.
No, that's it. I've met you in Bali. I know you personally. I'm glad you reached out to me for this, to ask me a few questions. I'm glad you're doing this. I like what you're doing. And I support your channel. So by asking people that follow me and my YouTube channel to go subscribe to DSI on YouTube.
Yes, and also anybody's watching this, Shiva Kailash Shambho, go follow. Cool. Blessings, and as always, Ad Astra. All right, Ad Astra. Do you like my new background?
Yes, it's very nice, properly done.
Yeah.
Are you in the same place that you were doing videos way back in the day? Next to that clock?
No, not there. That was my grandma's house. This is my my aunt's house. This is in San Diego.
It's much better.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's not bad.